Finally, the episode we've all been waiting for, the ever-anticipated Naruto vs Isshiki fight. Back in the previous episode, Kurama suggested Naruto a way which might be worth trying. It was a way that will supposedly end in the ultimate death of Naruto himself. But whether that'll come to be or not, we won't find out until episode 218. For now, let's talk about this insane fight in Naruto's new transformation, which is called the Baryon mode. Naruto takes Kurama up on his suggestion, resolves to die for the sake of protecting his son and his village, and then ultimately transforms into a transformation unlike anything we had seen before. That's where the previous episode ended, and this one continues from. Sasuke instantly comments on how tremendous Naruto's chakra is. Of course, Isshiki also never knew Naruto to have such an ace up his sleeve because even Naruto didn't. But now that he has finally resolved to go into this battle as if it's quite literally his final battle, the real fight was finally about to begin. Isshiki dashes in to attack, but Naruto displays a fine set of smooth moves that keep Isshiki from landing a blow, and then he himself lands one in. This time, his attacks weren't just going to land, but were also going to have a severe impact on Isshiki. The fight gradually heats up, and then Kurama explains the basis of this newfound strength. The Baryon mode essentially uses both Naruto's and Kurama's chakra as raw materials to create a nuclear reaction that in turn manifests this profound energy. So, until both of any one of their chakras gets completely consumed, this power will continue to dissipate. Or, to put it simply, using the Baryon mode puts a time limit on both of their lifespans, or so Kurama says. It is important to make sure that Naruto doesn't use any unnecessary moves, nor should he cloud his head with any unnecessary thoughts. All strength should be conservatively used on landing direct and fine-tuned blows on Isshiki. This results in a surreal set of fight sequences where Isshiki desperately tries to find an opening, yet consistently fails because Naruto is in this fight. It is completely in a state of absolute flow. Even if it is moments before his death, Naruto's mental disposition is the best as it ever has been. He is focused with every cell of his body on the sole task of defeating Isshiki while conserving as much energy as possible. Also, the animation sequence during this fight was also nicely done. It brought out the best of the manga panels and made for some genuinely magnificent action. Naruto continues to push Isshiki into the corner. The frustration inside of Isshiki reaches an all-time high. He becomes increasingly desperate to somehow gain the flow of the battle. As Sasuke commented, Naruto is actually beating an Otsutsuki all by himself. The way his punches seem to send ripples inside Ishiki's face are a sheer delight to see. But we still haven't even covered the surface yet, because when Isshiki throws those rods at a speed that is synonymous with the speed of sound, Naruto just casually catches them without even blinking. You can tell that he is in a state of absolute flow. Meanwhile, Sasuke, who's had a strong history with sharp eyes, was genuinely surprised by these maneuvers. Because considering what he said next, even he was having trouble keeping up with the speed of those rods, despite having a thoroughly mastered Sharingan. At this point, our boy Naruto is just flexing in front of an Otsutsuki. For someone who has already resolved to die during this battle, he sure is having a lot of fun. All of this in the opening song of the episode still hasn't even started yet. The pacing is unreal. The Boruto anime has really come a long way. It has been consistently epic for quite a while now. Plus, the action sequence in this episode is also top tier. They are fluid and all more impactful. Honestly, Naruto feels like a full-blown taijutsu specialist. The way the fight transitions from ground to air and then to water all in one go, it is beautiful to see. A well-produced episode really can elevate the experience several folds. Then there is the legendary Rasengan scene where both the visuals and the impact just throw you off the chair. As I said before, this fight has been extremely surreal to watch in the anime. By the time we see the aftermath of this Rasengan, Isshiki is just about done, while Naruto seems to be casually walking towards him with a poker face. It goes without saying that Naruto is significantly superior to Isshiki during this fight. However, just when he is a few steps away from Isshiki, Naruto experiences a rather strange sensation. The anime then cuts to Kawaki, where while they talk about his prosthetic arm, Kawaki realizes something's not so good. He realizes that Naruto's chakra is weakening. That's right, folks. By this time, Naruto's chakra has subsequently weakened, and it's only a matter of time before he can no longer maintain this form. And as things stand in the anime, there's still no telling as to what would happen to Naruto and Kurama after they are done. For now, Naruto's Baryon mode has already started to fade away. This sudden display of weakness by Naruto showed Isshiki all the knowledge he needed to decipher the cause of Naruto's newfound strength. That's right, he realizes that the Baryon mode was a life-shortening sacrificial gamble. Be that as it may, it wasn't just Naruto who was severely weakened. Isshiki had suffered an enormous, almost ridiculous amount of damage, so it was about time that he started feeling all those blows, just like Naruto. He also falls on his knees and starts bleeding. He reevaluates his remaining chakra and comes to an unbelievable conclusion. Meanwhile, Naruto wonders which one of them would go down first. So the final round begins. And it begins with another flashback from Kurama that further explains the Baryon mode. He says that if they use it, the total power should definitely increase that of Isshiki, but obviously the drawbacks are too much, because as stated before, while this power utilizes their chakra, it also expends their very life force. But it is also because of this that when Isshiki suffers blows from Naruto, the crucial drawbacks of the Baryon mode ends up greatly expending Isshiki's life force too. The unbelievable conclusion that Isshiki came to after reevaluating his chakra was that even though he should have almost 20 more hours, he now has less than half of an hour left before he kicks the bucket. The fight is almost done, if only Naruto can push on a little bit more. Isshiki attacks out of desperation and somehow knocks down Naruto for the time being, but when he comes into contact with Naruto's chakra, he immediately senses the presence of Kawaki. But because all chakra is connected and how Kawaki had Naruto's chakra supporting his arm, Isshiki uses this against him and decides to bring Kawaki to the scene. Now, an already won battle is yet again in jeopardy, and there's no telling what would happen next. Naruto could no longer fight, and so the second half of this episode was spent kind of running after Kawaki. Sasuke also intervenes, but he was taken care of with not much struggle. Meanwhile, Kawaki is going through several mental dilemmas. Isshiki had also just about hit the limit of his patience. He does a freestyle landing on Naruto's stomach and almost knocks him out of consciousness. He then tells Kawaki to show up within 20 seconds, otherwise he'll kick open Naruto's chest and kill him. This then yet again triggers a series of really dark flashbacks within Kawaki's head. What Jigen did to him, how he spent his childhood, but then he remembers how it was ultimately Lord Seventh who saved him from all that darkness. And for the already broken Kawaki, this affection was all it took for him to show up right there and then. But considering the exact memories that Kawaki was recalling in that moment, it's pretty befitting that Kawaki showed up, not as someone who was being called, but as the student of the 7th Hokage. This was indeed quite an epic and extremely legendary episode that truly brought about the best of what we had in the manga. I am genuinely looking forward to how they'll pull off the next episode, because as all know, this episode ended on quite a high note. And if you're an anime-only fan, I can only imagine your anticipation for the upcoming episode. The next episode is going to be epic. Now, before we go, make sure you rosin gun that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment sharing your thoughts on this episode. How absolutely legendary Naruto's Baryon mode was, and how good the Boruto anime has been lately. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comment section below. Well then, as always, I'm the Bearded Saiyan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.